Second Amendment rights.
Constitutional carry is right at the top of the list. The whole concealed carry permit is just another tax. If you're not a felon and you would have been, and they would give you the permit anyways, why do they want you to go through all this paperwork, time, and then they probably got a fingerprint you, but whatever. Yeah, I don't know because I don't have a permit. I'm waiting for that concealed carry. But if you're eligible for that concealed carry permit, what is the point of taking money from you? A tax, just another tax. The concealed carry permit is just another tax. Sorry, no, I said that. And I'm for letting anybody that's not a felon, and if you would otherwise qualify for a concealed carry permit, you have to go through all the paperwork. You have to go through all the BS. Just go ahead and put the gun in your pocket and go on your way.
Other candidates, anything else to add in regards to guns? Okay. Our final topic that I wanted to bring up before I turn over questions to the audience is the issue of marriage equality. Now, Lindsey Delhomme, you've brought the issue of marriage equality as to the front and center of your campaign. From a legislative perspective, what would be the first step that you would take toward marriage equality? What would be the route that you would want to take to achieve that?
I would, so in 2006, Virginia voted in an amendment called the Marshall Newman Amendment, otherwise known as the Virginia Marriage Amendment, that makes same-sex marriage illegal in Virginia. Tides have changed. Back then, people supported that. Right now, people are a lot more open-minded and understand that those guys getting married does not affect me. So I would introduce an amendment to repeal that amendment. We're all libertarians. I think we all can agree government should not even be involved in business and marriage. That's a church thing. Let it stay over there. But as long as our tax laws and all of our hospital rights, as long as so much of what our rights are intertwined with what government defines as marriage, then government should not be discriminating. And so we can disentwine all that. I think, let two females marry, let two males marry. It's not up to me to say what you do in your own home. So, anyway, I would introduce that amendment and push for that.
Rob Sarvis, do you agree with that as the best route to go toward marriage equality, or did you?
Yes, I support marriage equality very strongly. I will push for it, if elected. I'm pretty sure I'm the only person in the governor's race who is in a marriage that this one's illegal in the state. I think that
For those who may, can you elaborate on that?
We once had a time with such a nation laws. I would not have been allowed to marry my wife, who's black. As the laws are written, I believe my parents wouldn't have been allowed to be married in Virginia, although I don't know that the statutes were equally applied to white and non-white marriages where the non-white wasn't black. But my mom is Chinese, so that's why I mentioned it. But the idea. I think the Republican nominee has said that it's not the sexual orientation, the homosexual act that is unnatural. Well, I happen to think that the most natural thing in the world is to make love to someone that you love. So it's not enough to talk about freedom and liberty when you're talking about the issues that you want to reduce government's role in. Being a freedom and liberty candidate is about protecting the liberties of others that you might not agree with. And so that's why I think that we really do need a libertarian candidate to run against the Democrats and Republicans.
Other candidates, do you have anything to add?
I can just chime in here. He just touched on it. He said it's about sticking up for the minorities' rights. In this instance, gays and lesbians. But that's what freedom and liberty is supposed to be about. About standing up for the little guy and the individual. Every individual. I don't know how much more specific you can get to that, but You got to focus on the individual and the individual liberties, civil liberties. They got the short of the stick last time, and I think that's a winning. What's the word I'm looking for? Issue. There you go. Because the government should have nothing to do with marriage, like Laura said. It's between two people and a church. My only issue is, now that I'm already talking, I would want to see churches getting sued because they don't want to marry two guys or two girls, and then once it becomes marriage equality, quote unquote, then my fear is the floodgates will open and lawsuits. I'll be honest here, we're litigious people around here. Any hint that you can sue somebody in the church apparently has deep pockets, or used to at least. That's my only issue. But I don't see anything wrong with two guys getting hitched. It's those two. If they can find a church to do it, and those two get marriage out of the tax code, there'd be no government intrusion at all.
Yeah.
This is something that I've actually been giving a lot of thought to the legal aspects of it for quite a while. Of course, I agree with everyone at this table. Marriage is between two people for whatever reason they want to spend their lives together. Go for it. And it's a vow between two people and your God should you have one. That's it. The other aspect of marriage is legal, okay? And the way that I view it is it's a contract. And so what I would propose as more of an effort to get the government out of marriage, because I think that that's what we all want at the end of the day. You don't get to define what it is. You don't get to say what it is or who can do it, because that's not your job. We can figure out who can do it. So I would actually propose that Virginia pass a resolution that would basically outline their role as being to respect and uphold contracts that deal with property ownership, legal duties, and managerial functions between the parties to the contract, and that the only requirements to entering into that kind of contract would be consent and of legal capacity, age 18.
All right.
Just kind of explain why I would go that route also, because we want them out of it, but I also think that, there are portions of this state that are like, we're in Arlington. This is blue. People are cool with, marriage equality. There are portions of the state that are not going to be as accepting of that. So whatever, as far as trying to get things done, trying to get it done so that we actually can have equality. Sometimes you have to kind of tinker with the phrasing, and there are going to be some very red Republicans that are going to say, marriage equality? No, no. But you can look at that same Republican and say, is it the government's role to govern marriage? It's just a contract. All we tell them is to uphold it. And that same Republican will agree with you on that.
Anthony, did you have it?
Yeah, actually, I'm pretty much on the same page. I think for me, it's more of an issue of, I don't see it as marriage equality. I see it more as the equal opportunity to enter into a legal contract. I don't think that if we continue phrasing it as marriage equality, the issue is, as Pat pointed out, we may get legislation that compels the state to file suit against the church because it doesn't want to perform a religious ceremony. I think that we should continue to keep the state out of religious affairs, and I think that religion should be allowed to determine who is allowed to marry. The Episcopalians allow 2 gay people to get married. There are some sects of Judaism that don't care whether it's 2 women or 2 men that get married. I think there's even some tenets of Islam that are okay with 2 men or 2 women getting married. So I don't think that we should compel all major religions to have to offer this service. The state should have nothing to do with it, and it's between two consenting adults. And yeah, that's, I